Hey guys, welcome back. We are talking today about parallelograms. We're going to find the area and the perimeter of parallelograms. So looking at lesson 61, I probably should have had the book open. I'm sorry, guys. That's 72, 61. Okay, so we are on, give me a second here. Page 369. All right, guys, so the way that a parallelogram basically is just a square or a rectangle that got like bopped on the head and now it's leaning a little bit this way. So when we find the area of, a rectangle, we multiply the base times the height or the length times the width. You know, you've heard either one of those. A parallelogram, it's the same thing, except our height is this line that makes a 90-degree angle. It cannot be this slanty bit here. It's gotta be this guy in here. Sometimes it's on the inside, sometimes you'll see it on the outside that'll look like this, okay? The key that you're looking for is that it makes that right angle, or if it was here, it would make that right angle, okay? So the area of a parallelogram just equals base times height, but this height here needs to be a 90-degree angle. Okay, so now again for finding the perimeter of something, all we do is add up all the sides. Perimeter equals add up all the sides. So we take a look here at example number 1, and we see that this is 5 here, and I've drawn this guy in here just to show you what it looks like when it's on the outside. So this is 5, this is 8. So if we talk about perimeter first, we know that this is going to be 5, and this is also going to be 8, right? The units here are, I probably should look that part up, inches. Inches are our units. So what we're going to have is 5 plus 8. Actually, what would really help to solidify that you need to be using your units is 5 inches plus 5 inches plus 8 inches plus 8 inches equals, that's 10, that's 16, so 26 inches would be our perimeter. 26, sorry, that was a little tilty. Would be our perimeter. Okay, the area, like I said, is going to be multiplying the base times the height. Again, it has to make that 90-degree angle. So we have our area. So we're going to do, that is our base, which is 8 inches. I can just do IN. Man, I'm making all sorts of mistakes. Times our height, which is, in this case, 4 inches. That gives us 8 times 4 is 32 inches squared, because inches times inches gives us inches squared. So 26 inches for the perimeter, 32 inches squared for the area. Okay, let's move on to our next example. And also while dealing with parallelograms is that all of our angles, so in a triangle, all the angles add up to 180. And in a parallelogram, they all add up. But what's neat about them is that the angles that are opposite each other are congruent, AKA they are the same. So this guy here is 110. That's pretty easy. Now, so angles opposite each other are congruent, which just means the same. Angles next to each other. Angles next to each other are supplementary, which means they add up to 180 degrees. So 180 degrees. So we know that this is 110. These guys that are next to each other, they're also called adjacent angles because they're next to each other, is 180 degrees. Well, to find the angle of A, what we do is we take 180 degrees minus this 110. That will give me 70 degrees. 70 degrees, which means angle A is 70 degrees. If we know that angle A is 70 degrees, C is going to be the same thing, 70 degrees. So we know B is also 110, that's this one down here, and C is 70 degrees. So if you have any questions about that, let me know, but otherwise these are two key things that you want to make sure that you have written down. Okay, so let's talk about some of this practice. These are your practice problems. I'm going to pause the video and adjust my camera. Hold on. Okay, so I've adjusted my camera. These are the practice problems that are on your page. I should probably look that up, huh? That are on page 373. All right, so let's go through these together. Go ahead and pause the video, do the problems, and then come on back. So the perimeter is going to be, in this case, if this is 10, this guy right here is also going to be 10, and this is going to be 12. So it's going to be, oh, I should have probably put all of these are in centimeters. Centimeters, centimeters, centimeters. Okay, so we have 10 centimeters plus 10 centimeters plus 12 centimeters plus 12 centimeters equals 20, and this is 24, so that's 44 centimeters. On these guys, so this is going to be 13, this slanty bit, this is going to be 10. So 10 centimeters plus 10 centimeters plus 13 centimeters plus 13 centimeters equals 26 plus 20, 46 centimeters. Okay, so then over here we know that this is 10, this is 10, this is 10, this is 10. So 10 centimeters plus 10 centimeters plus 10 centimeters plus 10 centimeters equals 40 centimeters. 40 centimeters. Woo! Okay, so now we come back over here and we know that the area, we find that by doing the base times the height. So we're going to do 12 centimeters times 8 centimeters. Remember, it's the height that makes that right angle times 8 centimeters equals 96, centimeters squared. Centimeters squared, that's going to be your key. For this guy here, we have 10 centimeters times 12 centimeters, which gives me 120 centimeters squared. All right, and for this last guy, we have 10 times 9. 10 centimeters times 9 centimeters equals 90 centimeters squared. 90 centimeters squared. Okay, so for our next one here, so for these guys down here, all right, this is for the practice problems D, E, F, and G. What we know over here is that this guy is 75 degrees. Do you see how these angles are right next to each other and they form a half circle or a line? That means it's 180 degrees, both of these. So D is going to be 180 degrees minus 75 degrees, which will give us 105 degrees. So D is 105 degrees, which means that F is also 105 degrees. 105 degrees. Now, we already know that what do I need to add to 100? So for E, or I guess G, we would do 180 degrees minus 105, which we already know from that other one is 75 degrees. And since G is 75 degrees, so is E. All right, and then, so finally on this last bit here, finding the measure of angle A. Notice that that's a parallelogram. So A is going to be the same as C. The measure of angle A, 60 degrees. The measure of angle ADB. ADB. That's this bit right in here. Right in here. Well, if we know that this is 60 degrees, we can find the measure of angle B. The measure of angle B is 180 degrees minus 60 degrees. That would give us 120 degrees. So the measure of angle B here is 120 degrees. Well, we also know that this guy is a 90 degree angle. So if I take that 90 degree angle, 120 minus 90 would give me 30 degrees. So that little tiny bit in there is 30 degrees. That's gonna apply over here as well because this is 90 degrees. This is also gonna be 30 degrees. So that's gonna be 30 degrees. Now the measure of angle ABC. ABC. Well, we just figured that out and we found that we took 180 minus 60 and we got 120 for this whole thing here. So that's gonna be 120 degrees. All right, guys, if you have any questions, let me know. Otherwise, great work.